Guess who's back after what, like another 6
Bruh.
months of making another one of these tutorial type videos? Mainly because the whole melodic rhythm stuff is starting to blow up around the EDM industry. And I have decided to make a tutorial on it because, as you've seen in Redux, I did a melodic rhythm type drop, and I'm planning to do it for the rest of the EP. Alright, so first things first, want to load up Serum or any bass plugin. You can use Vital as well. I just like Serum more. I don't know. It's just my preference. I like Serum more. I'm just used to the interface a lot more. If you want to make a bass, I'm just gonna make a bass like right now. You guys can like copy. Let's make a wavetable while we have the chance. Let's use the Heart sample pack, the first one. Alright, let's use that. Alright, we're going to first cut off the edges because we don't need those. I'm pretty sure in Vital it's a little bit different how you do this, so I'm not sure. You may have to watch a different video. Even I'm not good at it. I just like Serum. We're gonna normalize it and then crossfade the thing so some. Well, let's crossfade it again. I don't think it. Alright, it's a little bit better now. And we're going to FM from B. That's AM, not FM. You know, let's try something different. Let's try FM. May want to turn down your headphones a little bit. Let's try it. Let's make it have a 1-2 feel. Let's put this on a separate LFO. Let's make it free. If you want, you can make this one trigger. I don't really care. I'm just gonna make it trigger. Maybe 1/2 it so that it goes like a 1-2 feel. Yep, that sounds good. Let's put a compressor, some distortion to hyper to make it a little bit more wide. I like doing this where I like taking a delay, unlink the BPM, make it link, lower the feedback a little bit. It's like a weird chorus effect, but it's not a chorus, so it sounds cool. That's why I like using that. You may want to put a vowel filter. You could just do this by putting a high pass or high notch. High notch has a different feeling. I like high pass. High notch I like using for regular standard growls, but right now we're just making a bass. You may have noticed that I did not use a sub. I don't like using the subs on the patch itself because I like doing a lot of effects. You can if you're not putting a lot, but if you're putting a lot of distortion, I suggest you just make a separate sub. I'm gonna pop this into a track, and now we're getting into the more melodic rhythm type part. Let me just make some drums so that it has something to stay on. Let me just quickly make some drums. Not the best drum loop ever, but it'll do. Let's just use that. It's not the best, but we can try it. Alright, so we're going to... This is where you're actually gonna make your melodic rhythm bass. What you want to do is you want to make like a standard super saw. Just take a saw, put it like a 8 or 16. It depends on what your CPU. I like 16. There's literally no difference, so it doesn't really matter. Turn down the detune a little bit. Put a compressor. If you want, you could put another one, 1 octave above. I'm gonna make this less voices because I don't really care much about that second one, but if you want, you can do that. Yeah, that's literally all we want for our carrier. It's just gonna be our carrier synth. We're going to pop this into a track, and we're going to sidechain to only this track. Don't make it root in like with volume, just make it nothing. Now you have your bass. You're gonna have to have one send. If you're gonna put effects on your bass, you're gonna have to have one send go into the Vocodex or your vocoder, while you have another send go to a different send, so that, because it messes up the timings sometimes of the vocoder. Like the vocoder becomes more held, which you kind of don't want because you want it to not sustain for that long. So you're gonna have to have 2 different sends for the bass, one for the actual like processing for the bass, and one for the bass to go into the vocoder. So that's how we're gonna do it. Now we're gonna just pop in a Vocodex, and let me just quickly make a chord. Time for some music theory with Sycobox. I don't know, man. So basically, a lot of melodic rhythm people like Skybreak, Asora, I'll name one. chime as well, sharks. They all like to use ninths and sevenths in their chord. I don't know, it just gives a more emotional but like powerful and emotional feel. A lot of them don't use as many like voices or as many notes. I just like using a lot of notes. I don't know why. It depends, up to you, whatever you want. Yeah, so then now we're gonna put in our bass. Already have one, pretty much. That's like the main of the bass. Now you just want to do like effects and stuff to make it sound better. Right now that sounds kind of shit, so we're gonna put some effects on this. First things first, I'm gonna work on the bass. For the bass, I'm just gonna pop a crude fat rack. I'll put a link in the description for this fat rack. It does cost money though. It's like $25, but it gives you a lot of good things. It gives you like 3 patcher presets that are really good. I don't know, I personally use them in literally everything. I mean, presets are not bad, it's just that you don't want to use too many of them. I use this on everything, but I mean, fat racks a lot of people use, and I don't have Ableton, so it's fine. It's like incredible, but I'm just gonna lower the fatness, lower that. Color, maybe a little bit less. Wave shaping, I'll just leave it at like that much, maybe. Yeah, perfect. And we're going to put an EQ. Cut out the lows because we don't need that. Oh, you may be wondering, why do I have that? My EQ does not look like that. I am running on a beta version of FL. Only reason why is because my regular version of FL is a little bit broken. I don't know why, but it's just broken. We're just gonna have to work with this. Alright, so we have our bass. I'm just gonna add a little bit more into this. I'm gonna put a trash on top. Trash 2. Alright, there we go. And then we're gonna add just another EQ, cutting out the lows again. That's pretty good. Sounds really weak because there's no sub, but I'll add one, so. Alright, there we go. Now to do this. Okay, first things first, just pop an OTT. You need OTTs on everything, just do it. The time to 1000, or else it'll become a little bit longer, and you don't want it to become that long, or else it just kind of just sounds like one chord, and you kind of want them to be separate. You can turn off the outgain. I'm just gonna turn it up a bit, and I'll make an EQ, and I'm gonna cut the lows because everything from this point can go, because that's where the sub will sit, and that too, it has like some mud, so if you hear it, if I turn this off, you can kind of hear it. See, it just makes it a lot more cleaner. I'm gonna boost up the highs a little bit. And then we're gonna put a saturation. You can use temper, which is a 3-phase distortion. It also sounds really nice. I'm gonna use this because free plugin. Basically, how you make it to sound nice is a mixture of I'm just gonna put a bit crusher. It's a mixture of distortion and a mixture of OTTs together to make it thick. And then you also want to put like you also want to boost the highs but cut the lows so that it doesn't like mess up the bass or anything, because the bass is gonna be your lows. You're gonna have like a mid bass. You can either have like I know some people don't put mid basses. Personally, I like putting a mid bass. It gives it more of a harder hit to it. And then I'm going to put another EQ, but this EQ is going to go under all the distortion, and it's going to be a vowel filter kind of thing. It gives it more of a vowel. It's basically just a high pass with a notch, so a high notch filter from Serum. All right, so we're gonna just make it a little bit, not too much, or else it'll give too much like resonance. You don't want too much resonance, or else it'll sound really weird. You're gonna have to automate this. So around, what is this? Around like 52%. And then you want this one to come back the other way. You're gonna create an automation clip, and you're gonna make it go downwards this way. I'm gonna make this like 54%. Type in value. Already sounds good. And then I'm going to put a plugin which is free for a limited time. You have to get it, or else I'm gonna be mad. Just kidding. Just get it if you really want to. But this is like the greatest plugin in my opinion to give like brightness. That and OTT together just makes it very nice. I don't know. It's called Fresh Air. It's by Slate Digital and Kilohertz. They're both really good companies. prefer you get this. It just brings out a lot of good harmonics. Just hear how different that sounds. And just bring it up a little bit more to show 20% and then like 30%. Just sounds so much better. And then I'm going to put another distortion, maybe a trash, just to bring out some more harmonics to it. Multiband, we're going to take this and move this here. Just brings out more of this high end that I like. And then reverb, I'm just gonna use ROM. You can use the regular stock reverb. I like ROM, it just sounds a lot nicer. It was free for a limited time, so I got it and I was like, yay. And then we're gonna lower the decay. You don't want it to be too long. Alright, that sounds good. We're just gonna cut out a little bit more. Yeah. And we're just gonna bring up the volume a little bit. My CPU does not like this, so we're gonna put another serum. I'm probably just gonna make this not sound, you can't hear it, but not sound, what am I saying? Not hearable. That's not even a word either. Okay, we're just gonna make it so that you can't hear it. Let me just use one of my presets that I made a while ago. It's not the greatest preset, but it's fine because you're not gonna hear it, pretty much. I'm just gonna use this. I'm just gonna make it. We're gonna add another serum. This is going to be, you can either use an ARP or you can do what Chime does. I'm gonna do what Chime does to show you. It sounds really good. You do either way, depends on what you like. Again, it's your preference. I'm just gonna show you a way that I do it. We're just gonna make an ARP that goes really fast. You want it to be less than probably like half a bar long, because it's gonna make sure that the convolution reverb does not break. So we're gonna make an ARP. I like using 8-bit. You guys can use anything else. Preferably 8-bit. I don't know, just a lot of producers use 8-bit noises, so it just sounds nicer in general. So. And what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to render it as an audio file. So you can just render as audio flip. And we're gonna render that, and we have our. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to take that bass that we made. We're just gonna take that, and we're gonna put this in a insert, and we're going to. What we're gonna do is we're actually not gonna link it to the sidechain yet, because we're gonna have to render this anyways. So let's use a fruity convolver, and we're going to take that, and we're gonna cut the dry completely. Again, you're not gonna hear the bass, it's just gonna be like that pretty much. And we're going to put this, we're gonna put our bass that we made. I'll lower the wetness a little bit. You may be wondering, why can I just use it like that? It starts like overlapping on each other, and it starts like sounding bad. So suggest you don't use it like that. So we're just gonna consolidate that. There we go. And we're going to take this thing that we made, and we're going to pop this into another, or we're just gonna pop this back here and just delete the convolution reverb. It doesn't overlay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put OTT on it. So sounds a little bit delayed, it'll be fine. You can cut off, I'm just gonna cut it off a little bit so that it's more on time than. Okay, and then we're going to then cut the lows, because you don't want that lows coming in. Cut a little bit of the highs because it's a little bit too ear piercing. And we're gonna put a reverb. Not too much, just a little bit. And then my favorite thing to do is if you have crystallizer, you can use that, or you can be like me and be a broke ass boy and use Finisher Micro, which has this thing called Infinity, which kind of sounds like crystallizer a little bit by sound toys. I don't know, it has a high pass filter on it. Personally, for me, it doesn't make a difference, but it sounds really good. See, it just gives those really jingly thingies. And then what we're going to do is now run this through sidechain. And now we have maybe bring out the volume of it a little bit more. My CPU is not liking this. Now it's time for sub. You could have done the sub earlier. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. I didn't feel like it, so it's fine. Quickly add a melody, like a rhythm to this. I'm just gonna make this like that. Maybe something like that. We're going to browse parameters, and I'm going to make this a automation, and we're gonna just go like that. And also gonna edit for the valve filter as well, so it has more. Alright, Town Tabs sub. What you're gonna do, you can take anything. Anything is fine for a sub. I'm just gonna take a serum, or you can literally just use 3x oscillator if you want. It's actually no, you know what? I'm just gonna use 3x oscillator. My CPU is dying anyways. It's just a sub, so it's gonna be one sine wave. Let's take the baseline, copy the baseline over. Did I just add something? I don't know what I just did. What I just do? What is that? We're just gonna. Alright, what we're gonna do for the sub, I'm just gonna put a OTT. What the highs? What the hell? I like a little bit of that. Just want that crunch a little bit. And we're gonna put a saturation. This is just trash. You can use Camel Crusher as well. I'm just gonna use trash because I like trash. That did. I like trash. And we're just gonna take the high end multiband. I'm just gonna switch these off. I'm just gonna take here and just gonna make it flat. 3D wave shaper. Gonna put it like that. You know what? Let's put another saturation. Next thing we're just gonna add a simple atmosphere in the back. You can do this by making an ARP and putting it into Edison and putting blur mode. I'm just gonna show you guys how I do it. Let's try using a thing from Elements. That one's fine, yeah. And we're just gonna go and we're gonna just render that ARP we made. And we're going to make it, and we're going to Control E to open up Edison, and we're going to take this blur function. You can take either, I like this, like 75% amount will be good enough. It should be fine. And then we're just going to keep the offset as is, and I'm just going to preview. Sounds good. Let's just use that, and we're going to accept, and I'm going to move it right here. I'm just gonna hear it quickly. It's just automatic atmosphere. First things first, we're just gonna put on to a track. We're gonna put a EQ to cut down the lows. And we're gonna let's put OTT in first. You can use a reverb as well. For pads like this, ROM is probably the best. Or if you're you can use Supermassive, which is a free Valhalla plugin. Space Verb as well, probably. I think Valhalla Room will work as well. Anything pretty much that gives like a very atmospheric thing. Convolution reverb as well. We're just gonna make the mix all the way up, and we're just gonna increase the decay, cut the lows, cut the highs a bit, and okay, then we're just gonna lower down the volume a lot so that you can barely hear it. And now what we're gonna do is let me just separate the sub from this channel. Let's take a plus and let's add this back in, put that right there. And we're going to consolidate this so my laptop does not die. We're just going to consolidate all of this together. Group. Consolidate from selection start. Leave remainder. I'm just going to consolidate that. So you can consolidate as well if you're having problems with CPU. I like consolidating it and then putting it into a track and then putting another fresh air on it to bring out the volumes. Make it sound nice. Just sound how different this sounds. Sounds so much better already. Convoluted reverb one, and I'm gonna add another fresh air on top just to bring out the harmonic. Put a fresh air on this as well. Dude, I'm just putting fresh airs on everything. Alright, and I'm just gonna play the final of this part of this track. Alright, 3, 2, 1. There you have it. That's your melodic rhythm. Well, and usually when they have melodic rhythm, they had like more variation. This is a very simple track just to show you how to make a bass. You could also take these logics and make a growl. I can show you that in a different video if you guys want to. It's pretty much the same thing, so I don't think I really have to. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Go check out Redux if you haven't. EP is still undecided when it's gonna release, but I'm working on it. Just give me some time. Probably hoping to release it by February next year or March of next year. We'll see as time goes. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.